Okay, let's give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, the blessings to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom to all the true worshippers. This is the brother Ahmad from the GMS Jamaica Kingston camp, back with another few minutes of truth. You know, the truth is, Jamaicans don't think World War III can affect them, you know? Jamaicans don't think World War III can affect them or will affect them, you know. And it's something that we've always preached out there in half a tree, you know, in Kingston, Jamaica, on the highways and byways, that what we're doing is warning the masses, you know, and they won't take heed to the warning because they think that nothing can happen to them in the Caribbean or in Jamaica, you know. Jamaicans on a whole take everything for joke, you know, but they don't know that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is the one who's gonna have the last laugh. Alright, so let's get right into this video. Gonna watch a bit of it and then we'll get some scriptures.
Conflict, since none of the islands would actually be in. Most people would think that the Caribbean would be pretty safe during a global conflict, since none of the islands would actually be involved in the warfare, but that's far from the truth. In fact, the Caribbean would be one of the most strategic regions utilized by larger nations during a global conflict. Today, we'll explore how a global war could potentially transform every Caribbean country into battlegrounds, refugee camps, and resource extraction zones. First, let's talk about why the Caribbean matters so much in global warfare. When we look at this map, the Caribbean sits at the crossroads of 3 continents. Every major shipping lane between North America, South America, and Europe passes through these waters. Plus, let's not forget about the Panama Canal. This 50-mile waterway handles 6% of all global trade. In wartime, controlling or destroying the Panama Canal could cripple economies overnight. And guess what's perfectly positioned to control access to the canal? The Caribbean islands, specifically Cuba and Jamaica. We don't even have to just imagine. Looking back at history during World War II, the Caribbean became a crucial battleground for this exact reason. German U-boats prowled these waters, sinking over 400 Allied ships. The United States even created a military base in Jamaica called Vernam Field. This U.S. Air Force base was built specifically for World War II, but was decommissioned after the war. But it does give us a glimpse of specific islands that would be more implicated than others. But strategic importance is just the beginning. Let's look at how this would actually play out, starting with the economic devastation that would happen almost immediately. Since tourism accounts for up to 90% of GDP in some Caribbean nations.
And you know, you can search for this video to finish, watch it if you'd like, you know, it's very educational, you know. But there you have it. It singled out Cuba and Jamaica. You know, Jamaica has always felt like it's a special place, you know. You know, there you have it. Yo. They said a military base was set up here by the Americans during World War II. You know, so if there's a World War III, there is no doubt that our little Jamaica will be a strategic stronghold for one of these bigger nations, yo. You know? So the mindset that the people have, that their lives, their pathetic little vain lives, can carry on like this, where they only think about the next movie, the next song, the next artist, you know, the next form of entertainment, you know, the latest car, these things will be far from your mind when famine, pestilence, and the sword take hold of you. All right. Our first scripture we're gonna get is Second Thessalonians, First Thessalonians 5, and it says, and we're gonna read at 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Yes, just like a woman can't escape the pain of giving birth. And just like how it comes in a surprising way, one day you're there and your water broke, and then you start to feel pain right after, and it gets worse and worse. The pain of a woman giving birth is one that it increases, yo. Many people don't, they read the scripture and they don't realize that it's not, there's a painful ordeal or that you go through, but it's one that increases in pain. That's something what's significant about a woman in birth pain. The pain increases over time, over short periods of time. So, and the scripture just said, and they shall not escape. So Jamaicans are living, and it's all about peace, safety, and party. Peace, safety, and party. And that's all on their minds. See? But this is what's going to happen to them. This is 2 Peter 3:10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as unexpectedly as a thief." See now, and this is the NLT Bible version. So it says here again, 2 Peter 3:10. "But the day of the Lord will come as unexpectedly as a thief. Then the heavens will pass away with a terrible noise, and the very elements themselves will disappear in fire, and the earth and everything on it will be found to deserve judgment." Yo. Since everything around us is going to be destroyed like this, what holy and godly lives should we live? And the focus is this saying, everything around us will be destroyed suddenly. Just like how you can't tell when a thief are going to break in at your house and steal your things. This is how Jamaicans, this is what's going to happen to Jamaicans. The coming of the Lord is going to take them by storm, yo. It's going to shock their minds, their lives, their whole being, Our final precept is in the book of Luke 17 verse 27. It says, "They did eat." And let me start at 26. It says, "And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives. They were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all." See? Everybody knows that story. Noah and the ark. From we are children, we've been hearing this story, yo. Nobody believed Noah. He was warning people for over 100 years, prophesying of rain And they laughed at him, mock him, no doubt. Until what? Rain come and take them all. It's the same thing happening with us right now. You're out there on the highways of byways, sending out this gospel, gospel of the kingdom. See? Verse 28, likewise also as it was in the days of Lot. They did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. And that's what's slated to happen to you people. In this life, in this generation, you people here alive today are going to not just witness but experience this judgment. This judgment is made for you, for you did not listen. Alright? Now, let's get our last scripture, which is Romans 13 verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Alright, so with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. Once more, let's give our praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshai, Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors again to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the true worshippers.